See, we're a chain reaction family, so somebody starts it, it
You
goes.
You can't cry alone.
So when Casey already teared up, I'm like, oh crap. So there it went. So I mean, nothing fell to the ground, but we're close.
5 years.
5 years.
It was.
Yeah.
He messaged her on Facebook for the first time February 13th because I used to have the password to her Facebook and I could check stuff like that. So.
That's dangerous.
Yeah. Well, I don't have it anymore.
February 13th, 2012.
She graduated high school in 11. Yep, 2012.
It's 17 months.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, yeah.
I was doing a different math, but yes, we all got to the same place.
At what point did you guys think that we would be standing here today?
When you moved in.
We couldn't ask for a more perfect day.
Do you have a favorite part?
I think when I saw Brandon's look when she came down, his very first look at her, I think that was what did it for me. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
You don't know obviously how long they've been dating. Was there a point in that relationship where you thought we would be standing here today talking about what we're talking about?
5 years ago, we were at Hillsdale Lake, and I told my cousin, this is the girl that Brandon's going to marry. And here we are, 5 years later, and she's my daughter-in-law now.
Why did you think that?
She just was special. There was something about her that she let some little girl put sand in her hair and didn't complain about it. And we went home from that day, and I said, here, let me wash your hair. And she, like I said, she's just kind of a go with the flow kind of girl, kind of like Brandon.
Yes, no doubt.
So I knew then that she was the one. Just be respectful to each other and tell each other you love them, you love each other every day, and talk, communicate. That's what it's all about.
Anything else you want to say to them?
I love you both, and Casey, welcome to my family.
Which was?
Let's see, that was
He graduated
right after he graduated. He came up
16.
and yeah. So he stayed with us for a year and a half.
Moved in your basement?
Well, actually, he was across the
he
hallway.
had a bedroom
first.
till Casey came back home.
Then
he had his own bedroom.
That's right. He moved back. Tell me this. Explain that to me for somebody who doesn't know that he moved in before she.
Yeah, she was still in school, so he was waiting with us for her to graduate. So.
Well,
Plus, he was also employed in Omaha.
They thought they wanted to move to Omaha at some point, so he looked for jobs here and got a job, and so it just made sense for him to stay with us. They were saving money to get a house.
With the Royals organization,
yeah,
no doubt.
technically, yes.
Yes, technically.
But I always say with both of my kids, but they're very particular who they choose to spend their time with. So if Casey was bringing somebody around, I knew it was pretty serious. So
He blended in. I mean, literally, I hate saying this when I'm going to say this later, but he really was part of the family before he's officially a part of the family. So it was pretty easy.
Casey sometimes can get a little wound tight and a little too serious, and Brandon's good at kind of unwinding her and making her laugh and just helping her relax in some situations. That's one thing that stands out to me.
They're both ultra competitive, so they support that in each other. It's kind of weird. It's it's like they're not competitive. They're competitive with each other to a point, but it's like when Casey's at a soccer game, Brandon's always there. When Brandon's pitching, Casey was always there. So they support each other, and I think that their sports backgrounds and the lifestyle they grew up with is so similar that it really they're disciplined people.
How long have you guys been married?
26 and a half years.
Yeah.
What advice would you have just for longevity, for happiness?
Well, it's coming out later too, but I would say the big thing that I have for them is don't forget the big picture. Keep the eye on the big picture, because everything else, as long as you see the goal, you'll be fine.
Have fun. Go out, do stuff, enjoy each other.
How many times did you cry today?
Well, you tell me.
We were at 4.
4?
That I saw.
We're doing it shortly here.
Okay, thank you.
Time to go.
Probably 5 or 6.
5 or 6.
Realistically, I wouldn't say crying, but teared up.
7's coming up in about 2 seconds here.
Okay.
I don't think so. I'm good now.
We'll bet something on that. Okay. That's all I need.
When Brandon saved Casey from a nasty spider. in the middle of their very solemn
I
vows.
think Brandon say Brandon from a nasty spot.
Maybe that was it, yeah. It was
Could be.
on the microphone.
It was a
anyway.
beautiful ceremony, just
It really
beautiful,
was.
and
Yes,
good
indeed.
people.
Point in their relationship that we would be standing here today talking about their wedding.
A long time ago.
I think fairly early on because
Yeah.
Casey seemed very enamored with Brandon and he with her, even back when they were probably he was
Well, she was still
sophomore,
an
and Brandon would
undergrad.
have been a junior, I guess, or yeah.
And they're both very compatible in a lot of their viewpoints. Their athleticism, which is really important to them. Their love of sports, the Royals. Now they're trying to be loyal to Texas, but
That's tough.
it's
Coming-
good to change. We've been together long enough that they speak without using words. If you know what I mean,
Yeah.
they communicate
They-
to themselves and to others
They're good people and good
as
for
a
each other.
as a couple. Yeah.
How long have you two been married?
52 years.
52.
What is your advice for happiness and longevity in a marriage?
Hang in there.
Yeah, there you go. Hang in
Honestly,
there.
it
That's-
sounds stupid, but there are good times and there are bad times. We love you to pieces.
Yeah,
We're
we
thrilled for you today.
We love them both, and we're so glad to have Brandon in the family.
Yep.
Officially, it's
Yes.
Yeah, right, officially.
I mean, when he lives in your basement for a year, doesn't that make you family of some sort, one variety or another?
before. Yeah.
yeah.
That's what Tim said to me last night, that I was saying something to the effect that you can trust Casey with Brandon. They'll be good together. And he said, yeah, I think so too. After having him live in our basement for a year, I think I know him pretty well.
Yeah.
I thought, okay. Yeah.
Okay, so as I was watching Tim, the dad, give his little speech about the different things that they've gone through, and as Casey Wells knows, I've gone through a little bit myself, and your dad's advice is wonderful, to keep the eye on the prize. And it sounds like, as I said to Brandon earlier, if he's half as wonderful as Casey is, then they've got something fantastic going on. And from what Tim said about Brandon, he sounds like a terrific guy, and I'd never met him before. I felt like I know him, just from the pictures and everything, but I can tell there's joy in Casey's heart, and I think he's put it there, and I think that's a blessing, and I really wish them the best. So.
Anything else you want to say to those two, or say?
No, I'm so excited for them. I can tell they're two peas in a pod. I've heard enough from Carol about Brandon, and I've known Casey her whole life, ever since she was a little baby with her little wiggle worm, and obviously it's been fun to watch Casey grow up, and she's been a truly wonderful girl her whole life, and she's a wonderful woman now, and Brandon is one lucky guy. I know that for sure, and I think it's probably mutual. I think she's as lucky as he is, and I really do wish them the best. So.
It was a fantastic day. I think her parents and her and Brandon, they did a terrific job planning this wedding. It was just beautiful. Casey is so darn beautiful, her dress, everything. It was perfect. A lot of friends came, a lot of family came, people from out of town. And I think the wedding ceremony was fantastic, and I just liked everything about the day.
Brandon's beautiful too, right?
Well, I'll call him handsome.
Okay.
He'd probably like that better, don't you think?
Yeah, I don't know if I would go that far. But,
Okay, he's beautiful.
okay, I don't know if I'd go that far too either. But
Well, we have to agree on
we gotta
something
agree.
here.
Yeah. At what point in their relationship did you think? Because I'm sure you met him obviously multiple times.
Yeah.
What point did you think? What point in their relationship did you think we'd be standing here today talking about their wedding?
Well, you know what? It was pretty early on. I don't know. There was just something about him, and I didn't know him well, but I liked him immediately. I really did. I would tell him that too, And I just thought, this just seems like they're right for each other, and I could see they made each other happy. They had fun together. He made Casey laugh. I liked that, you know. They just seemed right for each other. But I have to say, he was not the type I thought Casey would end up with. But once I met him and saw them together, I was pretty sure early on that this was going to happen.
Why did you think that he was not the type?
I just imagined someone totally different. I don't know what. I don't
Sorry,
know.
Brandon.
I should have known, you know, athlete, you know, and someone who was humble and not a braggart, you know, and who is smart. And she always has like athletes, so I will tell you that. You know who her celebrity crush is? May I tell you that?
Who's that?
Rex Burkhead. Do you know who he is?
I do, yes.
Yeah, she had a.
That's an odd celebrity.
He would have been competition for Brandon.
Okay, all right. Well, glad he's out of the picture, right?
Yes, he is. He's happily married. and playing for the Patriots now, my favorite team.
This is the best interview
ever. On
ever.
our fantasy football team.
Oh, okay.
One of my fantasy football
so
teams.
we can't let go of him, I guess.
No. Well, one of our fantasy football teams, my brother and I have a team, and it's called Husker Rexy 33. That was his number at Cincinnati.
Okay.
And it was my brother and his daughter's number when they played sports, and then I wanted the Husker Rexy. And the people in my section, when Rex was playing in Lincoln, we all called him Sexy Rexy. And I think our section came up with that name.
Your
and
section came up, and it stuck.
And it stuck. Yeah, and then there would be people in the stands, you know, with big signs, Rex, will you marry me, and all that. So I just like Rex Burkhead. But I'll take Brandon.
This is the best interview ever. I'm not editing a minute from this. This is great. But
I might not have a good relationship with Brandon if we leave that in there.
They'll get over it. It'll be fine. I want to focus this back to these two. Actually, I don't. I want to ask you another question.
Okay.
How many things have you stolen from Missouri Western in the last few years?
From Missouri Western?
Yes.
Only one.
Only one.
And I shouldn't admit that. Will I go to jail?
No, I think we'll be fine. I think
you know what
the
that
statute of
was,
limitations is passed. Well, no, tell me what it was.
It was one of the statues at the sports banquet. It was the soccer one.
Okay.
And
What year did you do that? When did you do that?
Well,
It's her senior year, 2015,
yeah,
2014?
probably was. But you know why I did it? We were sitting at the table with Chad Edwards, right?
Okay.
And I said, God, I love this soccer statue, you know, with the soccer ball. I need to have this for Casey. And he said, well, take it. I took one last year.
Oh, okay.
So I
you
figured
can blame Chad Edwards.
It's his fault.
So-
He thought it was for him to take home. So I just said, well, this is for me to take.
Sure, okay.
So then it came to the problem we didn't have a baseball one.
Yeah, so you went down to try to take another one.
Carol and I went down this past year.
To the honors banquet.
Yes, we crashed the banquet, and they weren't using the same
We
statue
changed the
anymore.
format this
So
year.
that's why you guys had to come up with the baseball statue.
Yes, we stole it for you. We contributed to your.
Okay, I think that cancels out neither one of
No,
us.
I don't think so. I think we're both in trouble. If I go down, I'm taking you with me.
Well, last night, we had this is at Missouri Western, I don't know if I should get to this. We had a prenuptial rehearsal dinner after rehearsal.
Okay.
And you know, Brandon loves the Kansas City Royals.
Yes.
And he loves Boulevard beer.
Yes.
He's not going to see this before Sunday, is he?
No, he will not see before
Okay.
Sunday.
So anyway, I stole one of the beer glasses and stuck it in my purse because I thought Brandon would like this, Kansas City Royals and Boulevard beer. So I got it home and I put it in the sink to wash it out, and I chipped the top and broke a thing down the side. So
It pays not to steal.
I was going to wrap it up and have it as a little joke present when they opened their other presents. So I called up the guy down at the restaurant this morning, and I said, you know, this groom who was at the big party last night, 55 people there, I said he's from Kansas City, he loves the Royals, he loves Boulevard beer, and I'd like to get one of your glasses to give to him. He says, how many do you want? And I said, 2. I could have probably asked for half a dozen, but I said 2. And he said, okay, come on down and get them. And I said, well, what am I going to owe you? And he said, nothing, I'm going to give them to you. So I have 2 legitimately acquired
I was going to say,
Boulevard.
what's the lesson learned there then?
Well, I don't know. What do you tell me?
I don't know. Maybe if you ask for it, you don't have to just feel
don't have
guilty
to
about
steal
taking
it.
it. Yes. You're a little kleptomania, and I like it though.
I am so embarrassed.
No, I think
I
this
mean-
is great. This is great. This is
My-
great.
my
This is the
own
best interview
granddaughter.
ever. And I'm going to air this uncut. Or I'm going to give it to them uncut. No, they'll get it. Let's go back to them real quick.
Okay, they're a great couple. They'll do fine. and they better be good to each other. And I did tell Brandon Casey's at the top of my list of favorite people, so please be good to her.
Any advice you have for them for a long, happy marriage?
You know, I don't know that they need any advice. They've been together 5 years, basically. They've lived together a couple of years. I think they got it figured out pretty good, actually.
I'm going to give you a high five on that one because we're good. That was awesome. That was the best wedding interview I've ever done.
It's hard to believe they're that old. They grow up in a hurry, but in a really quick period of time. But really impressed with both of them, both good kids.
Yeah, I think they're going to do really, really good, and was very proud of the day. Everything went really, really beautiful, and if I had any wishes for them, it would just be to just love each other like there's no tomorrow. There's no tomorrow.
I assume you've known Casey for a little bit.
Yes,
Yeah,
since they've been dating.
Yeah, 5 or 6 years.
Yeah.
At what point during their relationship did you think we would be standing here today talking about their wedding? You remember?
Fairly quick.
Yeah, probably within
A year or
within
so.
a year.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
kind of thought he was getting pretty close.
Yeah, they were
Yeah.
a good match. Well, you won't meet a better kid. He's always does the right thing. He's just a good kid. Growing up, he was kind of a pain as a baby, but other than that,
That he grew out of that?
yeah, he grew out. He had to take him out of the back porch to swing to put him to sleep. He wasn't good for that, but he grew out of it and turned into a pretty good kid.
You agree with that?
Oh yeah, we used to babysit him when he was a baby, and when she'd come home from work, he would hide in our. He remembers this. He would hide in our
Clothes
laundry
hamper.
basket. I'm gonna hide from mommy again every night. Same place, thinking that she wasn't gonna find him. But
Wow.
but then watching him grow into a baseball player, he's been playing ball since he was a year, just catching balls and batting balls. So I always knew he was gonna play ball, like when he went on to the.
Well, I'm glad he figured out common sense that he couldn't hide in the same place.
Well, I'm not sure. I think he just outgrew the hamper.
Yeah. Finally, he was an awful little guy for a
Yeah.
long time.
Yeah.
How long have you guys been married?
35 years.
Okay, good.
That's okay. I'm glad somebody knew it. So, what's your advice for longevity and happiness? And you kind of mentioned, that just kind of love each other.
Compromise.
Yeah, compromise and always listen to one another.
Yeah.
And there's no, if there's a mistake, it can be figured out. But just always just compromise and
Don't hold grudges.
And don't
Just
hold grudges.
Forget things and go on.
don't go to sleep angry. And just strive on each other's good points and work with each other.
They're pretty much the same person a little bit too, aren't they?
Oh yes.
Oh yeah.
Oh yes.
Yeah,
Oh,
they're
yes.
a good match. I think
Yeah, they're a really
it's
good
going to
match.
work well.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else you guys want to add?
We love them very much and
Yeah.
just hope the best for them.
Nice job today, too.
Thank you.
I heard. Tell me the story there on how you got that gig.
Been friends with Brandon since we were 9 years old. He asked me over dinner one time if I'd do it, and I said yeah. So I just went and signed up and got ordained and did the thing.
Okay, so you've never done a wedding before. This is your first wedding as an ordained minister.
Yes, this is the first one and my last. No question, my last.
How did you? So you're from Texas?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But you've known him since you were 9.
Yeah. We grew up playing Little League baseball together.
Okay.
Since we were 9 in Kansas City. It was an awesome day. Casey looked really, really just amazing. Brandon, I've never seen him that happy before. Everything, the food was good. Everything was
important.
Yeah, everything was good, and everything just went smooth. It feels like.
Any advice you have for those two?
And just give 110% into every single day, and never lose sight of what made you guys come together, and always hold to that and hold true.
Today was a great day. We started with getting the flowers already. It was exciting to be a part of that and to be able to do the flowers for her. It was my pleasure, definitely. She picked great colors. She looked beautiful. Brandon looked great. It was a fun day. I really appreciate it.
To be able to, because she mentioned it's a very personal wedding, just with all the things that family did, and that's kind of.
It was great to be a part of that, part of her day. I'm her aunt by marriage, but I really feel love and appreciation. I love being part of this family. Is really a lot of fun to be able to come out here because I'm from Colorado and we don't get to see her all that often. But when we do, she really is very warm-hearted, and Brandon is really great about including this and everything. So I appreciate that so much.
Anything else you want to say to those?
Thank you for including us. We love you very much. We're happy to be out here. Thank you.
I think it was beautiful. I mean, I think if she could have dreamed it up any better, it couldn't have been any better. I loved watching Brandon cry. That sells me on a wedding right there. He was just happy and just so overjoyed to see her, and so that kind of sold me on the whole thing. I love that part.
And I feel like they were both either like crying or like smiling the entire day. So I feel like they were happy in both ways.
And I love that their vows, he complimented her for the things that she helps him with, but then she promised to also do those things, and it was cool how that came together. I mean, they obviously didn't plan that, but it was so cool that they both thought those same things. So it was interesting.
How long have you known Casey?
Gosh, since I was like 7, maybe younger. I don't know.
How about you?
Well, I met her freshman year of college, but we became like really good friends in nursing school.
Okay.
So.
Okay. So at what point did you guys know that in that relationship, obviously you've known longer, you've known her at a different point in her life, but at what point did you think that we'd be standing here today talking about what we're talking about, which is them getting married?
I actually had this in my speech and I forgot to say it because Zach stole it. But the moment that I saw her dressed in complete camo, holding on to a dead bird that she had shot, I was sold. That girl does not hunt, and she was decked out holding dead birds in her hand, and I knew from that moment on.
I kind of knew because whenever we were studying for nursing school, we were actually like planning weddings the entire time, and they weren't engaged yet.
Fair enough. So here we are.
Yes.
That hard work paid off. It got you through nursing school and planned a wedding.
Nurses, we passed our boards. We're saving lives.
Maybe we won't come see you guys when we need to, though.
We actually did study a lot at Hazel's,
Yeah.
the little coffee shop.
Yeah.
I would say kind of the same thing I told them, just to always try and strive to make each other proud and to make each other laugh each day, because life should be enjoyable, and they picked each other for a reason, so they should enjoy being around each other, and if they just keep that passion and laughter, I think they're going to be great together. So
Yeah, I kind of agree. I think like to never stop trying new things and having fun, and I mean they're very competitive, so like if they can like take their competitive sides but like in a good way, where like some competition's good.
yeah.
As long as they
Hopefully with them, a lot of competition.
They got to go 50-50 or maybe 60-40 in Casey's
got to win the 60. Otherwise, as we learned earlier, she's the one that doesn't like to lose.
Yeah. She's not a very good loser.
It's been awesome. Like, talk about the first like baseball game you ever seen, and all of the excitement, all the enthusiasm, right there. Like, it's been the first baseball game you ever seen. That's how excited it's been today.
So who won the baseball?
I'd say Casey, by far. She made him cry. So like that's the winning factor of the side of,
There wasn't even any holdback there too. That was almost a little bit disappointing that there wasn't even a fight there. It was just kind of instant.
I would say as soon as she started down the aisle, it was a almost instant tear. So she definitely won that battle.
Okay.
I would say everything's gone fluently, other than maybe my 2-minute speech. I'm hoping that was the most imperfection of tonight. So
It was good though.
it may have been good, but
It was a nice story and had a sweet point.
yes, that was my goal. Since our grandmas was dressing us in the same clothes by the time we were 6 months old. So it's been that kind of a relationship ever since we were, young men, and we played t-ball together until we were old enough to realize that one was better than the other.
Which one was that?
Well,
of course,
definitely me. Definitely me. I mean, he may have been to college, but I definitely strived in the farm league.
Of the literal farm league.
Literal farm league, yes. He was in Turner. I was in, the corn league up in North Dearborn. Yeah.
At what point did you realize that those two might be married? You kind of talked about it.
I would say that whenever I first met Casey, it was an experience that I couldn't explain. Like he was like, "Hey, this is my girlfriend." And I was like, "Wow!" Like I I was very kind of like strange, and then when he invited her on a hunt and on a guy's specific weekend, I was, and they kind of went hunting, and I actually had to go eat breakfast by myself that evening. But from then, that was honestly an experience that I could never express, because we both have our significant others now that I can't be mad at him now. So it's been awesome.
What makes those two good together?
Honestly, I would say that they are both competitive and they strive for greatness. Like, no, they will never stop dating one another, so they will be forever together.
That's pretty good. What else you want to say?
I love you both, Brandon and Casey, and without you both, I don't know, I don't think I'd be me.
It was pretty cool. I'm really happy for them. Casey obviously really loves Brandon, and Brandon really loves her, so I'm really happy for them. Well, when Brandon first came to live with us after he graduated college, I knew it was obviously pretty serious then. Like, not that it wasn't before that, but
When he first came to live with you without her being there.
yes, she was still down in Missouri because she had one more year of college left, and he came and lived with me and my parents for a whole year. Obviously, he worked, so it was kind of nice for them because they got to save up some money,
How was that, though, for you? I mean, you got this not strange guy, but just that's a different situation coming to live with you for a year.
Yeah, it was kind of weird at first, but I mean, in the end, I'm really glad he did come to live with us because I got to know Brandon pretty well, and I mean, we really are brothers now. I love him too, so yes.
Anything you want to say to those two?
Congratulations. I'm really happy for you guys. I love you both, and good luck in life.
Okay. No, you're fine. You stay right. you just keep doing your.
Taylor, you're overanalyzing this.
Okay, miss, I did my hair 10 times. It got so messed up in the wind. I was so pissed.
Mine didn't get messed up in the wind.
I was.
Oh, you guys keep going.
Are you recording?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I don't know. This is part of the video.
Congratulations.
Hey, Co-Griffin Soccer. What was the final of that tonight?
4-0. Yeah.
We won because we're great.
Yeah.
We're a little
We
bitter.
say we because we're still living
A bitter.
vicariously.
We weren't a part of it. We didn't get to be there.
All right, let's get off that real quick. Let's get on the, your thoughts on the wedding and seeing the happy couple. Blah blah blah.
It was
Congratulations. It was great. We're super
so
happy for them.
Really
The
glad
vows-
to be a part of it.
The vows brought tears to my eyes. They were both so good. I just really am happy to be there and helping to celebrate their special day.
Yeah.
That's so nice. Okay, you guys have known them for a while, known her for a while.
Yeah.
What was she? Was she a senior when you guys were sophomores? Is that right? Okay, so and then you got
Yeah.
Okay. So, what point in that relationship with Simmons did you guys think we'd be standing here today at their wedding talking about their wedding?
The first point.
Yeah.
They were such a
When I
solid
started
couple.
at Missouri Western, they were already dating, and I thought right away they're gonna get married.
Casey's always picked people that she.
Yeah.
I mean, like as soon as she picked Brandon, I just knew that she was going to be with him forever.
She's always picked people that. What? Can you finish the first part of that story?
So she had a boyfriend originally who I thought she was going to be with. And that didn't work out, but Brandon was her second big boyfriend, and but Casey would never pick somebody that she wasn't truly in love with. And
It's a somewhat okay recovery.
I'm serious. I'm just trying to say that Casey truly only would ever date somebody that she really cared about and that she really wanted to spend their life with.
Bailey, would you clarify that?
Someone help me, please.
I think Casey and Brandon are honestly the perfect couple. I don't know Brandon very well, but I don't know, everything about them is just so cute and perfect, so
Congratulations.
Hey, Teddy, that's everything that you should say. Not everything not to
So
say.
happy, and that's enough.
Yeah.
Do we want to get into the other boyfriend's name or anything?
No.
Okay, all right.
I've already, made a mess of this, so.
We can edit it. Actually, we probably won't, but we could. So, all right.
They don't need that in their wedding video.
No, they probably do. We've got some pretty good stuff. Okay. Any other thoughts? Anything else you guys want to say?
Thank you for your open bar.
We appreciate it.
Coming from Taylor again.
Right?
Do we want to do this
Wow.
Facebook Live from the Missouri West End?
Yeah, let's go.
We're ready for it.
No, but that would be the worst. Thank you.
I think that's 3 yeses and 1 no. So
You're outnumbered.
So you're not that drunk because you're still coherent of what's going on.
Do you need some vodka?
Yeah.
No, probably not.
Teddy Cerna has no concept of right or wrong right now, so she's worse off than you.
Past boyfriends,
Yes.
I just don't know.
That was the worst possible thing that could ever be said in somebody's wedding.
I'm really sorry. Please cut that out.
No, absolutely not.
I meant it in like a really heartfelt way.
I know where you were going with it. It just didn't have to be said.
Casey would never pick somebody that she didn't truly want to be with.
You know, so the first one was fine, but then when that didn't work out, you knew she wasn't going to make another mistake. Because what you're saying is she didn't make a mistake the first time.
I know.
Okay, all right. Anything else you guys want to say?
Just
We love you.
congratulations.
Congratulations.
Happy to help you guys celebrate.
Last chance, Teddy.
Love you guys. I truly do. Seriously, I couldn't be happier for you guys.
Okay, we're good. We're good. This is.
Somehow I left my keys in Brandon's car, so we about ruined the wedding because we weren't there almost.
I heard about that.
The breakfast was tough. It was a heavy breakfast. We get back to the hotel.
Yep.
And we need to go to the bathroom.
Okay.
2.
I feel like this is all kind of irrelevant.
We couldn't have been there quicker. Anyway, Brandon.
Where are you going with this?
Where are you going?
I don't know. I don't know where you go.
Do you know